to the Can series. My name is Linda Hyder, and I'm with the University of Tennessee Extension here in Sevier County, and I'm honored to have with me joining in this series Sarah Vaden, who is the Jefferson County Extension Agent. And together we're going to present this series to you on canning fruits and vegetables. It's just basic food preservation skills. Typically during this time, we are doing group meetings in our office. However, due to the COVID guidelines, we thought this time we'd bring the information to you through technology. Our goal is to give you confidence and knowledge in canning foods. Whether you're a first-time canner, we'll give you some confidence, or perhaps you've been canning for years and you just want to make sure what you're doing is correct. We hope that you'll join us for the Can series. As far as canning, basically what is it? It's a way of preserving food. It's a method of taking out those microorganisms and enzymes that cause food to spoil and also could cause us to be sick if we ate those foods. So it's very important as we're canning, number one, that we use research-based information, because a lot of research has gone into foods and canning, the amount of time, the amount of heat, what type of foods can we preserve by canning. So we hope that you'll join us in our series, because that's the type of information we'll be using, research-based information. Basically, in canning, we're actually taking prepared food, putting it into a clean jar, and adding heat and processing time. During that time, air is driven out of the jar, and the vacuum seal actually forms on the jar, keeping that tight, keeping extra air, keeping air from coming in, keeping microorganisms from coming in as it's sitting there, so we know that it's safe. Basically, as far as canning, there's only two ways to can food. You can use a pressure canner, or you can use a hot water bath. Pressure canner is for your vegetables, your soups, your meats, your seafood. The hot water bath canner is for your fruits, your jellies, your jams, and your pickles. Well, really, why is there a difference? The main reason is because an ugly old microorganism that we do not want to have is called Clostridium botulinum, and I'm just going to call it botulism because I think that's a term that we're familiar with. We want to make sure we get rid of that botulism in our canned foods, and also those enzymes we want to inactivate so they will not cause the food to spoil. Clostridium botulinum is found in the soil. It's natural. It's been around for years, and we wash our fruits and vegetables, but it still may be on those, but when we eat them fresh, it's no problem. However, when we take that particular microorganism and put it in a certain environment, it's been known to produce toxins, and those toxins are what leads to botulism, which, depending on the severity, depending upon the immunity system of a person, botulism could lead to death. It could be fatal. Or it could just make you sick. Either way, we don't want that. I was looking on a little research about this. Every year, there are some cases reported of botulism from improperly canned foods. The largest population that was had this was back in 2015. Unfortunately, a lady made a potato salad, and she canned her potatoes incorrectly. And the potatoes were not heated afterwards or anything, and like 29 people got botulism from eating her potato salad. Fortunately, no one died, but many of them were hospitalized. So you don't want to be that person. We want to make sure we take care of that botulism. So with your pickles and your jams and your fruits, they have a high acidity, and that kind of makes that botulism affects it. It will not produce as many spores. It will not produce the spores if you heat it properly and keep it in your hot water bath the amount of time that's recommended. The spores cannot live in that environment. So it takes care of the spores at a boiling water temperature of 212. As far as pressure canning, your vegetables are considered low acidity, and Clostridium botulism likes low acidity. It likes an area where there's no oxygen. So we need to make sure we do a little bit more with our vegetables and our soups and our meats. Therefore, when we're canning those, we will put them in a pressure canner where the temperature can reach 240, a much higher temperature, to make sure that those spores are inactivated or killed. So we need to make sure that we follow that particular research and those guidelines when we're canning food, either pressure canning or using the hot water bath. So therefore, if you read or hear about canning in your oven, canning in the dishwasher or the microwave, I hope you'll say, nope, I'm not going to do that. Definitely those are not safe. They're not research-based. Think about that. Even the way our grandparents did it years ago, times have changed. Make sure that you do it safely in the correct way by using a pressure canner or a hot water bath, because once you go to the trouble of canning, which it can be very enjoyable, you want to make sure whatever you can is something that you will enjoy for months to come. Thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next Can series.